What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about my review score predictions for Horizon Forbidden West. Now, I want to give credit where credit is due. I want to thank Freddie Rizzo. Hopefully, I'm saying one of that way, was right. He gave me the idea. He actually just asked me over on Twitter, what do you think the review scores will be for the game? So I do want to thank you. And it's been a while since I've done this for games. I do like to talk about review scores. I do like to have a disclaimer in the beginning, right? Because while I think these are fun, it gives me another excuse to talk about a game that I'm really excited for. I just want to point out, right, I don't make decisions based off review scores. This game could get a 93, it could get a 70, it could get, anywhere in between. I'm still going to buy it. You know what I mean? That's still locked in. And that's the way really for every game. I make the decisions based off of, just watching stuff on the game, and then I obviously pick. And then I hope, or I guess I want you guys to do the same thing, okay? So what I want to do is look at Horizon Zero Dawn. So Zero Dawn had an 89 on Metacritic. Now, yes, there's like OpenCritic and stuff. Metacritic is, I think, the most succinct with gaming, okay? At least just for that. So 89 based off of 115 critic reviews. Now, I said to Freddie on Twitter, my initial, just like without even knowing that, I didn't look at that. My prediction for Forbidden West would also be an 89. Funny enough, like I said, the exact same number. I would like to actually amend that, though, because what I think is I do think this new game, Forbidden West, is going to be better than Zero Dawn. Now, I guess what you're stuck with is that you gave, not like you the audience, as in you, the critics. The critics gave Zero Dawn such a high score, which, has happened before for Sony first-party games. And then it's like, okay, well, what do you do now for the second one? I mean, The Last of Us, I guess, went through this. Uncharted, I guess, went through this multiple times. I don't think the bump is going to be, like, legendary. You know what I mean? I don't think Forbidden West is going to get, like, a 95, 96. But looking at it now, so 89 on Zero Dawn, I think Forbidden West would get like a 91. So I'd like to amend my Twitter decision, and I'd like to lock in my prediction for a 91 over on Metacritic. And again, I think because 89 is such a good score. Like that's very high. I don't think there's anything wrong. Even if Forbidden West also gets a 9 or an 89, or even if it gets in like the mid 80s, I really don't think it's that big of a deal. We'll have to see how it goes. Again, this goes to the more like how I'm critical of the critics. I get judging every game based off of itself, right? Not necessarily having to compare it to other games. But what I think will be funny is like when we get to play the game, how is the game compared to the first game? Like, is it like miles ahead? And then you would look at these scores and say, okay, well, this person at IGN. Now, the tough thing is sometimes it can be from the same site but different reviewers, right? So like GameSpot could have given the first game a 9, and then GameSpot could give this game an 8.7. And it's like, well, does that make sense? No, not really. But obviously, if it was a different reviewer, then that that works. That I would let them off the hook in that way. I mean, it still, I think, generally would make you look bad. They've done it before for like I think Justice League, right? The Joss Whedon Justice League. Like they gave a higher score on than like which I guess that's just opinions, and it was a different person. I think reviewing it, but it just doesn't come off the greatest way. So, yeah, I think 91. I think from everything we've seen about this game, and I tend to forget it too, like this really, like how many times, I think somebody mentioned this on Twitter, a lot of times the second game in the franchise is like the best game. Or at the very least, it's a huge jump from the first game. You know what I mean? Like you just think of, the first one I randomly thought was like Dead Space, even going like off the deep end. Mass Effect. Now Dragon Age. Dragon Age definitely did not improve with the second one, but you think about the jumps historically from one game to the other, and even if you don't, again, because there is like a thing like a Dragon Age that can maybe throw that, I guess out of sync. You could look at Sony ones, right? Because obviously they're owned by Sony. Like Infamous, much improved from 1 to 2. Again, Uncharted. Now Last of Us is very divisive, but even on like review scores, I do think The Last of Us Part 2 got a higher score. I'm not 100% sure on that, but historically there is like a jump. Actually, that's why I kind of wanted a Days Gone too, because I think the odds of it jumping in quality massively was actually very, very high for specifically a game like Days Gone. So I think based on everything that I've seen, based on everything that they've talked about, this is going to feel like a very similar game to the first game, but I think it's going to be improved in pretty much every single way. I'm not saying everything's going to be perfect, and I'm not like bowing down to this game. I mean, if there's issues, I'll be the first one to call it out. I'm not afraid of admitting that something wasn't good when I thought it was going to be good, but I really think just, entry level based on everything we've seen, I think this game is going to be really big improvements from the first game. And then if that reflects review score wise, again, I think that's how you get it to like a 90, 91. So let me know what review scores you think the game is going to get, what you think the Metacritic average will be. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up. I will be covering Horizon quite a bit. Already have, and I will be continuing over the next several weeks. If you want to follow me anywhere else, I have my Twitter. I have my second channel. We also have Patreon and YouTube memberships if you guys want to support us there. Links for all of that is in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.